Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this iRasptek Raspberry Pi 5 starter kit. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. So this is the 8 gig model with 64 gig storage. Now the storage is upgradable, it's on a microSD card, the RAM is not. So this comes with Raspberry Pi 5, SD card, power supply, cooler, case, card reader, 2 HDMI cables, quick start guide, warranty card, and GPIO reference card. So let's get this open. So here we have the Raspberry Pi 5. So this has Gigabit Ethernet, USB 3.0 and USB 2.0 ports. We have 2 HDMI out ports. We have USB-C power in. It has PCIe. We have microSD card. It also has PoE. I think it's display and camera inputs. So lots of input outputs on these. So here are the 2 HDMI cords. Now these are mini HDMI to HDMI. The HDMI on the Raspberry Pi is mini, so we have 2 cords for that. Here's the cooler. Let's open this first. So this is the power supply. So this is a 27 watt power adapter. Now it has a number of different modes on it. The output that's relevant to the Raspberry Pi is the 5.1 volts, which maxes out at 5 amps. And this case has accessories. So we have the Raspberry Pi 5 case. We'll look at that more in detail in a minute. We have the cooler. It has pads on the bottom. We have a little screwdriver. This is a microSD card reader. And we have a SanDisk Ultra microSD card. Here's a GPIO guide. So if you want to hook up a sensor, you might hook up to the voltage and to the ground and then to maybe one of the GPIO pins for input. And here we have a quick start guide. So let's take a look at it. So things you'll need to get this hooked up are a keyboard, mouse, and a monitor, and you'll likely probably want internet access for it also, but you don't have to. This talks about the specs of the Raspberry Pi 5. This talks about the cooler. This talks about installing in the case. We have troubleshooting. This talks about imaging the system. So let's get this put together. So I'll get the case out, get the cooler out. So this mounts with these spring-loaded clips. So it's going to mount in this hole here and this hole here. So I'll line that up, and I'll press the clip until it clips through. Just going to wiggle it just a little bit there. Okay. I'll go to the other side. So we have that mounted. Now this is going to plug in here. There's a little plug I need to pull out. Let me get that out. There. And now this connector will only plug in one direction. Let's see if I get it right the first time. Okay, so the fan's plugged in. Well, let's look at the case. Okay, so I'll just pull that off. This has some rubber feet. I'll put those on. Now it also has slots here, so you can mount this on something with some screws. Next I'll place the Raspberry Pi in here, so you can see a little notch here. So I'll slip it in like this, seat it down. Now you can see these little standoffs here. I'm going to line the holes up in the board with those. And that should line up the ports here. So I think that's good. So it has these screws. Looks like the screwdriver is slightly magnetic, so that's good. And I'll put the screws through these holes. Okay, so that's in there nice and secure. Now it's kind of hard to grip this little screwdriver. It's nice that they include it in case you don't have a screwdriver, but if you have a larger screwdriver, you might want to use it. So now the case can go back on, so I'll set it on top here, and then I'll slide it in place. So it's going to clip in there and on the bottom, and now we have our Raspberry Pi 5 ready to go. So in order to boot this, we'll need to put the microSD card in here. Make sure you get it in the slot. It's almost hard to see on camera here, but you could accidentally put this above it. You want to make sure it's right up against the board. Label should be out. And we'll press it in like so. Now let's connect a keyboard and monitor. So I have the HDMI cable here. pull these little protectors off. This can go into the back of our monitor. I have an ASUS monitor here, and it's going to plug in back here. Now that's going to plug into one of the HDMI ports, like so. Here I have a keyboard and mouse. This is a wireless keyboard and mouse, but it uses a dongle. So I'll plug that into one of the USB ports. Now this doesn't need high speed, so I'll plug it into the USB 2 port. Finally, we'll connect power. And this should boot up. So we can see the indicator light is on here. I can also hook up Ethernet. Now this will work with wireless also, but we'll plug that in. And here we have the boot screen. So I just heard the fan there. I think it's rebooting because it's the first boot, but the fan ramped up there and then it ramped back down. So the Raspberry Pi is actually controlling the fan speed, so it's not running at full speed all of the time. Okay, so we have welcome to Raspberry Pi desktop. I'll hit next. It's asking me some information, so I will set the country to United States. I'll set my time zone. I'll say use English language, US keyboard. It's important to set these things. If you don't, if you're typing something, you might get the wrong characters. Now it wants me to create an account. It's asking me to get on Wi-Fi. I'm connected to Ethernet, but I will log into this. It's asking me which browser I want to use, and it has Chromium and Firefox. I'll choose Chromium. I'll hit next. It's asking if I want to update the software. I'll hit next. Okay, that took a few minutes. I sped it up. It says the system is up to date now. I'll hit OK, and then we'll restart. Okay, so we're booted up. Let's try opening up a web browser. I'll open up a website. So here we have YouTube. Let's try playing a video. Okay, so here I'm playing 1080 video on a web browser from YouTube, and it's working fine. On older generations of Raspberry Pi, this could be a difficult task, but this handles it with ease. Let's try a benchmark. So this is the speedometer benchmark. I'll hit start test. So we got 4.22. Now I've run a similar test on my MacBook with a Core i5 and I got 6.37. So the Raspberry Pi 5 is running at about 2/3 the speed of this old MacBook in this specific benchmark. So I think that's very good performance. Now when it's running, it's drawing about maybe 5 watts. So it's very efficient. Now the Raspberry Pi 5 is not known to have the fastest processor in the world, but it's very good at what it does and it gives very reputable performance for what it is. So let's do some other tests here. Let's test the network speed. So this is a network test on my network. So this is going to be testing the Ethernet. I'll hit start. So we got 984 down and 972 up. That's typical. With this test, you typically would not see 1000 and 1000. You'd typically see numbers like this. So this is as good as any PC I've tested within the margin of error. Let's take out the network. It might take a second for this to switch. Let's see. Okay, it looks like we're on Wi-Fi now. So I'll run the test again. So we got around 55, 60 up and down. So that was 2.4 gig Wi-Fi. We got about 65 down and about 55 up. Let's try some 5 gigahertz. Okay, so we got much faster speeds here. We got 268 down and 246 up. So if you want the fastest speed, you want to use Ethernet and you get about gigabit. The 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi got about a quarter of the gigabit speed. And then for the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, I got about 60 megabit per second. So the networking performance on this is on par with many PCs. Now certainly there are PCs that can go faster than this, but a typical PC I would say this is about the same. So now we have this set up, and this is set up on the desktop OS, and you can use this like a traditional computer. You can browse the web, you could check your email, you could write documents. If we go to the menu up here in the upper right, we can go to Preferences and then Add Remove Software, and we can install different software. If you want Office software, you can type LibreOffice. And that will show up here. You can install that. You can install GIMP for photo editing. Now, one of the nice things about the Raspberry Pi is it has these GPIO headers, and there's a little slot here, so you can connect this up to other hardware. So you could put a temperature sensor on here, motor controllers, things like that, and then you can write Python software to control those. Since this is running a version of Linux, you can also install server software on here. You could run WordPress or do web development on it. And sitting idle right here, it's drawing 3.7 watts, so it's super efficient. So that's the iRasptek Raspberry Pi 5 starter kit. If you're just getting into Raspberry Pi, or even if you've been into Raspberry Pi and you just want to have a setup that's out of the box ready to go, I think this is a great option. It was very easy to set up, it was easy to install that cooler, it was easy to put in the case, and it's a very sturdy case, feels really nice. And it has that temperature controlled fan, so it's not running all the time. Now if you're just learning about the Raspberry Pi, it does come with a card that's pre-installed with the system on it. Now you can get your own microSD card and make your own systems for it, and you can just swap them out. I would turn it off, pull it out, and put a different system in so you can experiment with things. And you can almost use these like cartridges in an old gaming system. So every time you put a different card in, you have a whole different complete system. So that's a really nice feature of these. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.